If people are wondering why the GOP tax bill looks like it does, here's your answer. Analysis. More than 6,000 lobbyists have worked on taxes in 2017. That's a big number. Big number. So there are 11,000 active lobbyists in Washington. Over half of them cared about taxes, lobbied on taxes. Get this. There are more than 11 lobbyists working on taxes for every one member of Congress. So the people who are, in theory, supposed to be representing you, your Congress people, there are more people that are there to represent special interests than there are to represent the people. If you're wondering why, Congress has a fucking 12% approval rating, here you go. There are more people trying to fuck you over lobbying Congress than there are people who are fighting for you. Companies and trade groups within the pharmaceutical and insurance industries each have 600 or more lobbyists working on taxes. How's that for a fact? So this is the heart of the problem in our political system. This is the cancer. This is the virus. This is why our government is not at all beholden to us. It's a rogue government. It's because of this. And, the massive irony is Donald Trump was the guy who ran on a campaign of drain the swamp. Now this is his tax plan. This is the Republican tax plan. It is the swamp. The swamp fucking wrote the thing. The swamp made the thing. Imagine having that many people with conflicts of interest writing the bill. It's only people with conflicts of interest writing the bill. There's really nobody looking out for you, because it's not like the Congress people who in theory are supposed to represent you are representing you. No, they're also listening to all the lobbyists around them. They listen to them in a heartbeat before they listen to a random grandmother from Wyoming. So drain the swamp boy is like, I would now like to employ the swamp to write my tax bill, please. And he's the fucking biggest cheerleader for it. He's on Twitter talking. And by the way, they have nowhere to go but to lie with it. They just lie. We're going to cut your taxes. We're going to cut your taxes. Really? Well, when people crunch the numbers, you're not cutting taxes for the overwhelming majority of the American people. And the people who you are cutting it for are at the very top. So there's no way to discuss this and be honest and make the pitch unless they're talking directly to millionaires and billionaires. So they just lie. And that was, a hallmark of Trump's campaign. Drain the swamp, drain the swamp, drain the swamp. Anyway, I would now like to have 6,000 lobbyists work on my tax bill. Remember, and he made a big thing about, I'm going to get rid of the lobbyists. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And what he does is he passes a token, or he signs a token executive order. That's like, okay, I will make it so that foreign lobbyists can't be involved after 2 years if you divide by the root of 6, and just little fucking tweaks where you go, see, I did an anti-lobbyist fucking executive order, and then you get shit like this happening right in front of everybody's face. Over 6,000 lobbyists worked on taxes. And you wonder why. There are little provisions here and there, like, oh, by the way, private jets get a tax break. So, whoa, who decided that was a priority? Gee, I wonder. Because there's a fucking lobbyist there working on behalf of Conrad Fuckface IV, who's like, I would like another tax break for my private jet, please. I'm paying too much in taxes. And so they lobby for it, and the Republicans are like, yes, sir. I'm your errand boy if you're rich or if you're on Wall Street. And then they get what they want. I just want people who voted for Trump not for the bigoted reasons. I mean, there are people who did vote for him because of the bigotry and the xenophobia and all that stuff. I'm not talking to those people. They're too far gone. If they're that hateful, there's very tiny chance of getting through to them. Almost non-existent. But for the people who voted for Trump because of the economic populism, which is not an insignificant number of people, I just want them to understand that they got fucked over. He stabbed you in the back. He screwed you. And that's not my opinion. That's not open to interpretation. That's what all of the evidence and the data suggests. At this point, there's proof that that's what Donald Trump did. He lied to you. He lied to you. He told you what you wanted to hear, got in there, did the exact opposite, and he's doing everything the establishment wants. So I just want you to know that. I just want you to understand that. And this isn't me making, a defense of Hillary Clinton. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me do that. Maybe I make tiny defenses about how she's less shitty than Trump, but that's not a very bold claim to make. I think it's relatively obvious that that's the case. But this isn't a defense of Hillary Clinton. I think she would have screwed you too. I don't think she would have screwed you as much, but she would have screwed you too. This is just simply stating a matter of fact that you've been had. You've been took. So you do with that information what you like, but it is not a debate. It's not a discussion. He lied to you. Drain the swamp, make America great again. The forgotten man will never be forgotten again. This is like the definition of that. Having over 6,000 lobbyists work on your tax bill. You could have just said, let's open it up to the American people, and we're going to poll people on what you want in the tax bill, and then we're going to implement that, right? Wouldn't that be, the forgotten man will never be forgotten again? Do a poll nationwide. Who wants to see taxes on the 1% raised? Would be over 60% because it is in the polls. You can go down the list. Who wants middle-class taxes to be cut? That'll win too. So you could say, if the forgotten man will never be forgotten again, poll him. Poll the forgotten man and see what happens. They would come out with a social democratic tax bill, but you don't do it because you're not interested in looking after the forgotten man. You're interested in looking after the well-off and the donor class.